Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, Mookie.
Yo,
And we back with another reaction video. Mookie.
you.
We did probably like one or two slavery videos and like one political video. For number one, y'all, we gonna let y'all know we gonna tap into politics, but I don't think that's our journey to actually go in like a deep road of politics. You feel me? But the slavery, we definitely a tap into that. You feel me? We'll get back into our culture, give y'all our honest opinions on it, and just be real with y'all.
And if there's something about your culture out there, just send it to us.
Yeah,
What you
we're
feel,
yeah.
you know,
People in
you
the
wanna speak on,
UK,
send it to us.
because we got a lot of fans from everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
So look, man, this was well requested, and I thought this was an amazing video that man you can get into. You know how I say his name, bro. I don't want to
His
get
name
it
is Thomas. I want to say Sowell.
Right.
But if you merge it together, it's Swole,
Right.
something like that.
This on the current black culture.
Okay. Yeah.
Feel me?
Oh.
The current black culture. So that statement right there, alone family, speaks a lot of volume.
Lord have mercy.
But Mookie, yo, we ain't gonna say too much. Let's listen to him.
I'm trying not to say a lot. Right?
Yeah, I already know how it's about to be. We gonna listen to
try
him
not to
and
say
see
it,
what's
bro.
up, bro. Let's get into it, fam.
Yes, sir.
When I grew up in Harlem in the 40s and 50s, I never heard a gunshot.
Well, let me read what you say in your preface. You say, "Let me state here, and now that these essays do not mean one, all Southern whites were or are rednecks.
True.
Two, all Black Americans today or in the past were or are Black rednecks.
True.
One cannot predict, you write, much less forestall all the
I
clever."
didn't even know that, bro.
What?
People call black people black rednecks.
Yeah, you got some black rednecks out there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Come along, one of them hunting, fishing, buck blacks, love living in the sticks from the country.
Right.
Yeah, you got some black rednecks out there.
One cannot predict, you write, much less forestall all the clever misinterpretations that others might put on one's words. The most that can be done is to alert honest people to the problem. Black rednecks, who are they?
These would be blacks who came out of the Southern culture and who carried that culture with them north into the urban ghettos and into the ghettos of the South, for that matter, and who have not moved out of that culture since. Over the years, both blacks and whites have moved away from that culture. But in the poorest and worst of the ghetto areas, there are lots of people who have not. And these kinds it's a culture which didn't do whites any good, and it's certainly not doing blacks any good today. And the tragedy is that people regard this culture as somehow the authentic black culture, and therefore you're not to interfere with it.
I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from.
Black English is considered not quite proper English.
True.
On the other hand, if blacks happen to have all the power and own all the corporations and whites were working for them, it would be the other way around.
There was a period, I'm trying to remember now, I believe it was in the mid-70s when substandard English began.
That statement alone was strong, bro.
True.
Did you hear what you said, bro, family?
That's true.
It will be different.
That's why I like, bro, and what I'm about to say is some true stuff. You know, when I was being raised and my mother was raising me, you know what I'm saying? I had a young mother, y'all, so this will be a short story. I had a young mother, and, you know, when I was coming up, we were still living in the hood, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she wasn't raising me right because she still kind of wanted to hang out and do her own thing. And sorry to say this, we never had a pops to come rescue us from that, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when it was just our mother, it was our mother alone. When she was with our grandmother alone, you know what I'm saying?
Or even put the father to even put the foot down and tell the mother,
Yeah.
this is the way how you supposed
Never
to be
did
doing
that,
it.
you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So, you know, I ended up in a system. You know what I'm saying? Foster homes, group homes, things like that. But my mother got it together. You know what I'm saying? She knew that wasn't the life she wanted from me. And she took me out of the system And that's when I moved into a suburb of Baltimore called Towson. And honestly, when I was living in Towson, I learned how to talk correctly. I learned how to, do things correctly because it was such a culture shock that, I was so used to doing things one way, but I'm happy I moved out there as a child because it benefited me in such ways now that, I see my family that stayed in the hood. You know what I'm saying? They can't even, sometimes talk like they got some sense.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say it like that, but they can't even talk like us. They can't formulate their words well, formulate opinions well. It's always twisted with some ghetto type of vernacular, some hood views on certain things. I'm being dead real.
Nah, for real.
And
we talking about.
I'm talking about my own family.
You talking about you, but we talking about. You gotta say what you talking. We talking about black people.
I'm talking about black people. Right. Absolutely.
Right.
It wasn't until I got around. It wasn't until I got around white people, then I learned how to do things a different way. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back, oh bro, you talking different. What's going on? And it was one of the best things that could have happened to me because when I actually grew up, when it's time for me to talk to the president of my company or what's the name, it's like a light switch. I look at it as like going from British English to American English.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a switch that I can cut on and I can cut off. You feel what I'm saying? I heard somebody say, I think that's just phony.
No.
Bro, you just can't talk like
Yeah,
that.
that's not phony
You
at
can't
all.
talk like me, bro.
That's
Like,
not phony.
it is what it is.
And you know what's so crazy about that is you just can visualize ever since you've been working since you was like 19 or 20, 21.
I've been working since I was 15.
15. Well, I've been working probably since I was like 20, 21. Every warehouse I worked at, bro, most of the people in the office who actually pushing the buttons are white. And now all the workers are black. You feel me? And my man just said if it was the opposite way around, it'd be better. Not it will be better, but you understand why it's that way. You just can't put anybody in that office to have conversations with the higher ups, bro.
Right.
You can't, family. Yeah. If you just take a look at that alone, all the black people like, hey, yo, we all working. We looking at each other working.
Right.
All the white people upstairs chilling. Taking cuz, bro. They more, to be honest with you, it's more.
They more they gotta articulate themselves. They
more professional.
More professional. They took school serious.
Yeah. Facts.
They took school serious.
Facts, bro.
Like when I was in high school, I didn't take it seriously. And then, I had got a girlfriend. She was black. She was like, hey, I was in AP classes and all that. Girl, I was looking at the AP classes. I made it out, but
yes, began to
That's a fact, bro.
When substandard English began to become began to become viewed as a discipline of its own within linguistic studies and so forth. And for all I know, it was all perfectly legitimate that certain speech patterns would be traced back to various regions in Africa and so forth. And this is a language of its own. It has its own validity. But your argument would be, I don't really care what its validity is. It's holding people back. It's preventing them from participating in the wider society. Is that right?
Absolutely. And also, none of these things went back to Africa.
Oh, is that so?
No. You can. Yes, they did not go back to Africa. If you look at the peach, for example, using the word axe for ask and stuff like that, all of that goes back to the South, and it goes back to the parts of Britain from which white Southerners came. So if you trace the calling hog entrails chitlins, that was in a certain section of Britain, the section from which whites moved into the South, and they were known as rednecks and crackers in Britain in centuries past before they ever set foot in the South. So the whole thing is as phony as the $3 bill.
In Intellectuals and Race, you cite an observation by the intelligence expert, IQ scientist James Flynn, that just stopped me cold. After the Second World War, you've got large numbers of American troops remaining in Germany. For that matter, there's still several tens of thousands there today. And both black and white American soldiers had children with German women. And Flynn discovered that those children growing up in Germany showed no IQ differences at all.
Facts.
The black kids and the white kids the same. Professor Flynn concluded that the reason was that the offspring of black soldiers in Germany grew up in a nation with no black subculture. Close quote. Which means what? Which means they experienced exactly the same expectations. Is this the
No. The expectations are external. The culture in which they grew up was
It's just environment, then.
Yeah, it's just environment.
Yeah, it's simple as that.
If you wouldn't have treated us no different, we wouldn't have knew no different. You feel what I'm saying?
You can see the separation, bro.
Yeah.
And
That was the basis of that story I just told you.
Yeah, you can see the separation. And it's not even about, you don't even got to get in deep into it. Just look at school system.
Yeah.
You got a school system, 99% black, and they always be like, it's 2%, 3% white kids here. You feel me? That's not making that much money, that live in black neighborhoods. You know those type of kids for real. So, simple as that. You don't even got to get it deep into it.
Crazy,
was not the culture in which black kids grew up in America today.
So they had.
There's no gangster rap.
Yes, sir.
That was pervasively available in Germany.
So here's what I'm getting. There is something about black subculture in America today that holds African Americans themselves back.
Yes.
So right.
Because that very same subculture held whites in the South back as well. That in the time, this mental testing in the First World War turned up, among other things, the fact that whites from various 4 or 5 southern states scored lower on the mental test than blacks from 4 or 5 northern states. And so it really was a question of the subculture that was there, which was a handicap to both. I could go on for days about the social degeneration, but let me give you just one quick example. When I grew up in Harlem in the 40s and 50s, I never heard a gunshot. Now, I'm sure someone fired a gun somewhere in Harlem, but it was not such a pervasive thing that you had to hear it. You know, I have relatives in Washington. I asked them the same question. People in my generation.
Growing up in Washington, D.C.
Yes, and low-income black neighborhood. Did you ever hear a gunshot when you were growing up? And the answer was no. I have relatives in North Carolina. I asked the same question. No. And now, you know, people in housing projects especially, they put kids, some of them, to bed in bathtubs so that they won't be hit by stray bullets in the night. Now we take it for granted that there's tremendous levels of crime and violence in the black community. That was not always the case. In the 20s, it was very common for white celebrities, including George Gershwin and William Faulkner, to go up to Harlem not only for entertainment places, but to go into private homes of people they knew. And Gershwin played Rhapsody in Blue in this home where Walter White lived. Milton Friedman, when he was a graduate student at Columbia, he and the lady he later married would go dancing at the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem. And he said we had no fear of being mugged or accosted on the street or anything like that.
I've heard you say, Tom, when you were a boy growing up in Harlem yourself, your own neighborhood felt totally safe to you.
Not totally safe. I wouldn't exaggerate, but it's nothing resembling today. I mean, I did sleep on hot nights. I would sleep out on the fire escape. When I tell people in Harlem that today, they think I'm from another galaxy, you know. But that people slept on the fire escapes in New York and in the public parks in the 30s, all over the city. Because it was not a jungle. And you could run through a great number of other things. Children raised without 2 parents present. That was about 22% in 1960. One generation later, it was 67%, and it's gone up a little since then as well. And now the rate among whites is higher than it was among blacks in 1960.
Why is it so hard for the blacks?
White liberals.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility. Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own homes. These are our brothers and sisters.
Our friends, our family. We are done watching them die.
How do you define a white liberal?
Talk about it. Let's talk about
those kinds of people who have the kinds of attitudes that are called liberal in the United States, although the word is misused. Those people have created an atmosphere in which these counterproductive cultures are to be celebrated perpetuated and the consequences overlooked. It reminds me of a scene in The Blue Max where this general is encouraging this daredevil pilot to do all kinds of wild stunts, you see, knowing that the guy's going to kill himself if he keeps doing this, and therefore the general will be rid of a political problem. Now, I don't think that the white liberals are doing this deliberately, but I think the net results are the same. They are cheering blacks on and doing things that are absolutely self-destructive. One of the things I discovered in the research for my book I'm currently working on is that leaders of groups that are lagging in countries around the world almost invariably have counterproductive policies for them. And it makes perfect sense because insofar as members of lagging groups assimilate into the values and achievements of the larger society, they don't need those leaders. I mean, there's no mystery to me as to why Jesse Jackson says what he does, or Al Sharpton and others, because that benefits them, but it does not benefit the people they lead. And all the incentives are for leaders to lead people into things that don't help the people, but help the leaders.
What you'd create an. There would be an exception for Dr. King, though, wouldn't there?
Yes, but
one of the things he was different because he was earliest, or what? Why? What's different about him?
Well, it's like insurgent movements in general. When an insurgency starts off, by definition, it has an uphill battle. Now, and you can look at the history of Christianity, for heaven's sake. If you're going to be a Christian in the Roman Empire, you know, before in the first century, you had a lot of grief to go through.
Yes, sir. Right.
Now, but after Christianity becomes the official religion of the Roman Empire, this is a bonanza, and there's a lot to be done. And so now you will follow policies that are the opposite of what you advocated. You will see that with all kinds of other insurgent movements.
Somewhere, watching this interview, there's a young Thomas Sowell. There's an African American who's smart and wants to do something with his life. It seems to me we've already got one piece of advice you'd offer to him is stay away from the races industry. Stay away from the race hustlers. What advice would you give a young Thomas Sowell? How do you make something of yourself as an African American in America today?
The way anybody else would. You equip yourself with skills that people are willing to pay for.
Amen. Ooh. You ended that perfectly, bro. You equip yourself with skills people are willing to pay for.
That was dope, bro. I love the way you ended that, though. Like, that was dope. Whoever made this video, bro, this was amazing.
Oh, Jesus, we needed that.
This.
Yeah, and there's so many things that's just different. Like, me personally, like, I came to the realization I don't really like calling myself an African American because, honestly, bro, I've never been to Africa.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm an American first, but I'm just of African descent. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, my ancestors was African.
Right.
But I'm not African. I'm an American.
I want to do quick question, y'all. And do African people take that as kind of like disrespect?
You got to, like a person that comes from Africa and decides, you know, they're African American. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But I am an American first. I'm just of African descent.
So what if they look at it like it's like where you come from, though?
Yeah. It is where you come from.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying, what if it's like that, though? That's why it's like African Americans. They know that you come from Africa, so it's like you got African inside you. But I get what you're saying, though. But overall of this video, family,
tell us what y'all think.
Yeah, facts. This is it's an eye opener, bro.
Big eye opener.
You feel me? Not trying to say it like that. The best thing I got from this video, bro, is more so like education.
Right.
Like how you say, you gotta fill yourself up with knowledge, bro.
Right.
You gotta fill yourself up with knowledge. You can't have that. Yo, you know what's so crazy, bro? Black people.
But it's gonna be hard to, for kids to follow this when they favorite person to follow is somebody like Lil Baby.
Yeah.
What he said.
But the thing about it is, bro, I was about to say that, bro. We can do it both. We can be slick and be smart too. You feel me? Like,
I had to write that down or show somebody how to do that, bro.
You can be slick and be smart too, bro. We got something, like, black people got something inside them, bro, that too many other people don't got for real. like, bro, we like a, like for instance, like a Deion Sanders. Like nobody got that type of swagger, bro. Who got that, bro? We build something up, we create it, and it's something that a lot of people want to follow our aura and stuff like that. But bro, if we put that educational part in there, and put that
Like you
first,
said, equip yourself with skills people are willing to pay for. And I don't care what it is, as long as it's legal. Be a carpenter, be a carpet cleaner, be a architect. These are all skills people are willing to pay for. You know what I'm saying? Skills that they don't necessarily want to do themselves. You know what I'm saying? Start a babysitting company. Hire a bunch of babysitters. You know what I mean?
You feel me? Nah, that's a fact, man. But yeah, man. If y'all new to the channel, this was an incredible video, bro. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let us know the next video that we should react to. I'm Nick DUNSON.
I'm Mookie Dunson.
And we out, baby. 1.